Hello, welcome to Kitchen Basics 101, where I teach you the bare bone basics as if you've never cooked a day in your life from the perspective of a mom. I make oatmeal raisin cookies. I feel like it was much requested. I usually make oatmeal chocolate chip for the kids. I like oatmeal cranberry, but a lot of people were like, oatmeal raisin. I mean, it's all really the same thing, but we'll do oatmeal raisin today. Start with our dry ingredients. So we're going to do 2 cups of flour, and I just have all-purpose flour, and I'm just going to be spooning it into my measuring cup so that I don't over measure, because you don't want the flour to be compacted. You want it to be light and fluffy. And if things that you're baking turn out dry, the likelihood is that you've put too much flour. It's really easy to over measure. 2nd cup of flour, and this I'm putting it in is a sifter. If you don't panic, if you don't have a sifter, you can just use a whisk to fluff it up, or you don't have to do any of the above. To that same sifter, and again, if you don't have a sifter, don't worry, we're gonna do a teaspoon of baking soda. This is what they call the leavening agent, or the thing that gives the dough lift. That's it for the dry ingredients, okay? So we're just gonna sift it. Oh, it's so satisfying to sift though. It's so satisfying. Set those dry ingredients aside. I have 8 ounces, which is 2 sticks or 1 cup of softened or room temperature butter. And I did a video about softening the butter that I will tag here. And I've got that in my bowl, and I'm just going to give that a little bit of a mix. Add 2/3 of a cup of just regular white sugar. This is cane sugar, because that's the only kind of sugar that I use. Pack your brown sugar, pack it down. This is a 1/3 cup measure. We're gonna do 1 1/3 cups. So that will be 4 of these little 1/3 cups. Just wanted to repeat in case you couldn't hear over the mixer. I turned the mixer off. We're doing 1 full cup and 1/3 of a cup. So 1 1/3 cup brown sugar. And so that's 4 of this 1/3 cup measure in there. And then we're going to cream that together with the butter, which means you're just going to let it mix on like medium until it becomes all one like light brown homogeneous mix. You might need to scrape down the sides when you're doing this. So I'm going to get a spatula. Scraped it all down. We'll turn it back on. The next thing we're going to add is 2 eggs, but you should never crack your eggs into your batter. One, you could get shells, and sometimes you have a bad egg. So what I always recommend is to crack them into another vessel, but I'm all about not dirtying dishes. So this is the cup I use to measure the flour. So I'm just going to put them right into there. 2 eggs. These are large eggs. I don't ever buy anything but large eggs. And they can be room temperature. Baking with everything being room temperature is always better, but if they're not, it's not a big deal. We're gonna add our 2 eggs. Then I just added 4 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. And we'll give this a mix. Just on stir or on low. Everything is well combined, and that's good because we don't want to mix too much once we put our flour in. So I just use the same spoon that I used to scoop it out to scoop my flour mixture into my mixer while it's mixing. Put it on the low setting so that flour doesn't go everywhere, and I just spoon it in. I have a pretty large spoon here, a tablespoon, and I just scoop it in while it incorporates. Don't overmix this. Just mix it till it barely comes together, because now we're going to add the oats and the raisins. If you like cinnamon, you could certainly add cinnamon to this. When you add the dry ingredients, you could add cinnamon right now, a teaspoon or 2. Cinnamon hurts me, so I'm not going to add any cinnamon, but you certainly can. And now I'm going to add 3 cups of rolled oats, or I guess you could use any kind of oatmeal that you like. We'll give that a quick stir. I mean, you could do all this stirring by hand. I just cannot be bothered. And then I'm going to add 2 cups. Oh, it's blurry, of raisins. And this is the part where you really need the mixer, because I could not. And we're just going to stir it a couple of times until it's combined. Look at that gorgeous batter. Okay, I'm going to put this in the fridge for not too long. You can refrigerate it overnight, but I'm just going to refrigerate it for like 30-40 minutes while I preheat the oven and get out my cookie sheets and all that good stuff. Oven preheat to 375. I got my cold dough out, and I'm going to start scooping it. I love a portioned scoop. I think this one's like, I don't know, 2 tablespoons maybe, or 1 tablespoon, something like that. I just love it because it's so easy. I just realized you couldn't see the first one. There you go. Is that better? It makes it so easy. You just pluck them down. Now, these don't spread too much, especially if you've got your dough nice and chilled. So you can put them fairly close together. Like I have a giant cookie sheet here, but I'm probably gonna go like 4 across. I was able to fit 20 on this cookie sheet. I'm gonna throw it in for somewhere between 8 to 10 minutes. They're not gonna look cooked when they're cooked. You have to kind of let them sit. So you're gonna take them out. They're gonna be a little brown around the edges, but they're gonna look like they're not cooked, and they're gonna be too soft to move, and you're just gonna have to let them cool. Okay, here they are out of the oven. You can see they look like they're not cooked, but you just have to let them cool. When they get more cooled, they firm up. But we have to do the taste test, right? See, they're little. They're just like little bites. You can make them bigger if you want to. A little crisp, but look, still soft and chewy. So good. I mean, what's better than a good cookie? And I love oatmeal cookies in particular. I feel like you can eat it for breakfast.